The York Revolution is on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
Onto the track, it is gone! It's gone!
Revs Baseball is brought to you by
People's Bank, Wellspan Sports Medicine, Shipley Energy, Maple Donuts, Broadway Transmission, Flying Feet, Dasher Investment Services, York Mitsubishi, Kochman Kunkel Insurance Group, Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, Rudders, Pennsylvania Lottery, PSECU, Kona Ice, York County Bar Association, and by Downtown Inc.
Swing and a deep drive to right field. Watch this one go. He fires. Game over. Base hit. It's a fair ball. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He slides. He's in. Revs won it.
Now, with the call of today's game, here's the voice of the York Revolution, Darryl Henry.
Good morning, everyone, from People's Bank Park here in downtown York. Welcome to game number 81 and 82 later of York Revolution baseball. In fact, game 81 might be later as well. Revs and the Sugarland Skeeters here today playing 2-7s, a doubleheader here on Camp Day at People's Bank Park. An absolutely gorgeous day for baseball here at the stadium. But there is a little fly in the ointment as we hit the air here today. Why, Darryl, do you say that game number 81 might be later as well? Well, the Skeeters came out for warm-ups about 20 minutes ago, and they have spent the majority of that time playing groundskeepers. Looking at the left side of the infield, they seem to have a problem with it. It seems to perhaps be a little wetter than it should be, I don't know. But there is a whole lot of milling around, and they have told Dan Miner to shut things down in the Revs bullpen for now. He's not happy. He was ready to go to start this game, and it's not going to be an 11 a.m. first pitch. They are working on the dirt back behind third base, and that is where all of the attention is being paid at the moment. Pete Incaviglia in the mix of it, and he called Mace out to have a look at it. Mace and Fletch both over there trying to figure out. And the big thing for the pitcher and everybody really is to figure out when to warm up and how long they're going to need. So Dan, he was ready to go. Looked like he had finished his warm-ups, I believe, and Fletch told him to, from across the field, motioned to him to shut it down and chill for a bit. So here we are. Scheduled to play two today. Darryl Henry along with Brett Petrak. The Revs a 4-3 loss in the opener last night, which not only ended their streak of 6 straight wins in series openers, it also was their first one-run loss since mid-June. It ended a streak, a team record tying streak of 7 straight wins in one-run games. And Brett, here today, we're ready to go, ready for 2 games, but I guess the Skeeters are not ready to go after looking at that field when they came out for warm-ups, so here we are.
Yeah, they're putting us on ice a little bit, putting Dan Miner on ice as well. It's kind of frustrating, obviously, but hey, if that's really what they want to complain about, that's fine. That's not us. But listen, we're going to play baseball eventually today, and we got to try to win these 2 games, keep that series winning streak alive. I mean, how much time do we have? Can I work on my new impromptu stand-up comedy routine? How many kids do we have listening? That's the question.
It looks like we have all the time in the world, Brad. Until further notice. Pete Incaviglia is on the phone, I would presume, with his GM or the league president. I have no idea. Now, we've seen this before. And right now they're dragging the third base side of the infield. It began with their players who were all playing groundskeeper down there, and they were more worried about that than they were about warm-ups before the game. So,
well, they got here at 9:40. The game starts at 11. You do the math.
Yeah, they're not happy about the doubleheader to begin with because they have to bust a High Point tonight.
Well, they can call God and tell it not to rain if they want. We'll see how far it gets them. But, I mean, it's just one of those things that happens. You know, it's obviously the travel to High Point, it's no bueno. It's a lot on the bus, I get that. But, I mean, it would help them to play this game a little earlier. Doing a good job are the grounds crew men, trying to get this thing figured out.
Brian DeBrouwer, the crew chief, is the lone umpire still out there. The other 2 went in. Mace is trying to help direct parties and
Man, Lincoln Gums knows everything, huh?
Yeah, well, it started with him during pregame. That's the first man on the scene. Now Rico Noel has his bats, and he's walking back to the clubhouse. He might want to think twice about that. I think we're going to be playing this game sooner than later.
I don't know if we have time to go to the cage, but gotta have to reline the field too. Just nice crowd too. He's checking on with the buses.
How'd that go?
It was fun. A lot of youngsters in the house today for camp day. I know if I was in that situation, I'd love to be at this game as well, but I'd love to watch some baseball being played.
We all would.
Yeah. And all jokes aside, though, it's fun. Directing buses is an adventure. I mean, I get to do my third base call, if I was going to round someone in when I'm directing cars. I don't do it, without a little bit of emotion. I really get in there. A lot of finger pointing, a lot of motioning. I make the most of it. Got to protect these kids,
Absolutely. I think the camp counselors right now have the most difficult task, trying to keep these kids entertained. Although our video board and Diamond Doug will do a fine job of that also.
Also, every reptile or amphibian on the East Coast is on our concourse as well. Snakes.
That's true.
Lizards. Owls.
The first breathing thing that I saw in the stadium when I walked in today was a boa. I think it's a boa constrictor.
Oh, did you watch that kid? He was like, 6? He manhandled that thing, right?
Yeah, just grab it.
Good for him. Yeah, just grab it. It's a snake, whatever. Just grab it, throw it in. Crazy. I mean, it's cool. I like it here. With that, marketing does a good job getting all of those things set up, and then the video board work. Cody and Melissa were churning away this morning trying to figure out what videos to put on. It was pretty fun. Get to go down like a little bit of a time capsule with all the SpongeBob clips and stuff, because that's still going on. SpongeBob was what I lived on.
Really?
It's still funny to me. Yeah,
Really?
SpongeBob. I think the first episode of SpongeBob came out when I was about 6, and I watched it
I forget how young
all
you
the way
are
through.
sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a youngster. Young to the league.
Yeah.
As you know, all the other broadcasters are old, apparently.
We've heard, yeah.
We've heard that they're old, but not to be the case.
35 and over.
35 and over. I think that was what the article read, 35 and over. Just false, because you are not 35.
Not yet. I'm going to wait as long as I can. I mean, I have no control over that, but there's maybe 2 that are.
Yeah, whatever. It's fun. We have a good time here. It's when you think we know a lot. I mean, just knowing that kind of stuff. Do we pay too much attention to this league? I feel like we know everything. I'm texting each other when guys get signed, guys get released on other teams. And
We are fully immersed.
in the Atlantic League, no doubt.
We are fully immersed. Well, the Revs coaching staff is out in the field trying to help the grounds crew. They're working at second base now. Pete Incaviglia is on the phone with somebody over on the third base side. And warm-ups have been brought to a grinding halt for this game today. We'll set the scene as far as the game goes, and if this becomes too long of a delay, we'll let you enjoy some more Dan Patrick. But Revs last night, the loss, they are now 8-3 in the second half. It ended a 5-game winning streak. It is still tied for the best start to any half in team history. The 2007 second half, the inaugural season, and the 2011 first half. They were both 8-3 through 11 games. It's a 1-game lead over Southern Maryland, who won their game last night over High Point behind Darrell Thompson. The Revs still in first place, 42-38 overall. Sugar Land is 41-39 overall, with a 6-4 second half record. The Revs in the Freedom Division, they are 19-11. They're 7-3 against Lancaster, 8-1 against Southern Maryland, but just 4-7 against Sugar Land after last night's loss. But most of that damage was done early in the year. The 2-5 series in Texas, Revs are 2-2 against the Skeeters since, and in all likelihood, if they are to get to the postseason this year, it would be against Sugar Land. The only way that it wouldn't be is if a whole bunch of wild card scenarios were to come into play, but most likely the Revs, if they are to get in and continue what they've done over the past month, it